Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a bustling crowd, yet felt a strange sense of void within? You perceive patterns that others overlook. You worry about things they dismiss as trivial, and sometimes you wonder, is there something wrong with me? The truth is, exceptional intelligence is often mistaken for instability. The world teaches us that intelligence is measured by degrees or the speed of calculation. But in reality, extremely high IQ is a silent curse. It is like running the latest, most advanced operating system on the outdated hardware of the world around you. Do not strive to be normal. If you possess the following 5 unusual habits, you're not alone. You simply own a brain operating at a level that the majority cannot reach. Habit 1. Metacognition, the observer within. Most people live and react based on pure instinct. But if you possess a high IQ, you always have a second observer residing in your mind. Even in the midst of intense anger or a bitter failure, a part of you steps back and calmly asks, why am I reacting this way? Are there flaws in this logic? You don't just think, you observe yourself thinking. Psychology calls this metacognition. You constantly self-interrogate and are willing to deconstruct and rebuild your own beliefs if a more objective truth is found. To outsiders, you may seem indecisive, but in reality, you are performing a mental overhaul to achieve absolute precision. Habit 2. Ambiguity, tolerance. While the masses crave an immediate right or wrong answer to feel secure, individuals with extremely high intelligence are remarkably comfortable with the unknown. They have the capacity to coexist with paradoxes. They understand that this world is not black and white, but overlapping shades of gray. You can spend months, even years, contemplating a complex problem without needing a false sense of certainty to lean on. The ability to stand firm amidst chaos and refuse to rush into flawed conclusions is the hallmark of a brain with immense processing capacity. Habit 3. Intrinsic curiosity, the hunter of useless pieces. Have you ever stayed up all night just to understand how an ancient civilization collapsed? Or the mechanics of the stars? Things that others would dismiss by saying, why study that? It doesn't make any money. Those with high IQs are not driven by short-term utility. They are driven by understanding. To them, knowledge is its own reward. They gather fragmented pieces from every field and unexpectedly connect them to create breakthrough solutions. A genius is not the one who knows the most, but the one who sees the connections between things that seemingly have nothing to do with each other. Habit 4. Predictive simulation, predictive coding. People call it overthinking. I call it a predictive supercomputer. If you frequently rehearse important conversations in your head with hundreds of different scenarios, do not worry. That is your brain running probability algorithms. You aren't just preparing for what others might say, you're preparing for what they might think. This habit transforms you into a natural strategist. You are always 3 steps ahead of the world, not because you possess magic, but because you have already lived through every failure scenario in your mind before it actually happens. Habit 5. Intellectual patience. A definitive sign of high-level intellect is this: being exceptionally critical of your own conclusions. Society worships agility, but the most intelligent individuals are often the ones who remain silent the longest. When an idea strikes, instead of acting on excitement, you are the first to stress test it. You hunt for loopholes, you invite logical critiques. This patience may make you appear slow, but while the world is busy fixing mistakes born from haste, you have quietly crafted a perfect result. You don't need to be the fastest, you only need to be the last one standing. Possessing a high IQ brain is like wielding a sword. that is too sharp. If you do not master it, you will hurt yourself with your own sensitivity and loneliness. But if you recognize these habits in yourself, understand this: you are not alone. Do not try to dissolve into a world that operates slower than you. Use your curiosity, your power of observation, and your strategic thinking to create values that only you can achieve.